people come into my store, when the vendor who is the owner of the item that they're looking at is not there in the store, and they'll pick it up and say, "Is this price firm?" And I'll say, "Yes, whatever's on the tag is what I have to charge, because I don't set their prices for them." And that disconnect between the vendor not being there and them wanting to haggle will piss them off in certain instances where they are looking for a market where there's haggling, and there's no haggling to be had because they want that experience. They want to know that they got a better deal than what was originally listed. They want to knock it down a little bit, and they can't, and they get pissed off. Now, the other 3/4 of all the people in the world aren't like that. Okay, but a good quarter of them are. So 3/4 of the world don't shop at the flea market. They go to the mall. They wait for things to have sale prices put on them. They go to Kohl's. They go to JCPenney's. They go to Walmart. They don't go to the flea market because they don't want to be bugged. They want to know that the lowest price is probably already there. Whether it's a fake sale because there's a sale every week in Kohl's. I don't know if any of you shop Kohl's, but everything's always 50% off. So everyone knows they manipulate the prices to be about the same as they would be even if it weren't 50% off. Everyone knows this shit. If you don't, you're oblivious and you're not a savvy shopper. Okay? But there are people who go to these stores because they don't like personal interaction. And the whole world is trending towards not liking personal interaction. Shopping online. Shopping at eBay. I list things from my market on eBay and Craigslist. Craigslist drives a lot of foot traffic in my store. Why? Because people would rather start shopping online in a very impersonal way, and then if they see something they like, that will motivate them to get up off their fucking couch. Alright? So, now that we've established that there's these two types of people, the people who love personal interaction and like to haggle, and the people who don't like to be hovered over, don't like personal interaction. Okay, we've established these two types of people. Okay. One of the principles that I've seen in my market is that when vendors are setting up their stuff or bringing new stuff to their booth in my market, nobody wants to shop from their booth. They will walk by them and shop at every other booth where there's no one there because that's the kind of shopper they are. They don't like the personal interaction. If somebody can be hovering over them, looking at them while they're shopping, they don't like it. Right? So, take that principle right there for that 3/4 of people in the world and apply it to this craft fair scenario that happened last Saturday. You've got everyone at their booths essentially hovering over the people as they're trying to shop. Now, that being the case, we've already established that there's a general unwillingness to even look at products while somebody is hovering over, and they, by the nature of the fair, they're hovering over. So what do you have to do? You have to take those antisocial, impersonal shoppers and turn them into the haggler type, which is possible. And I'll tell you step fucking number 1, alright? You have to say hello. You have to say, hi, how are you fucking doing? Are you having a nice fucking day? Please, come over and look at my fucking shit. Okay? That's what you have to do to make it as a network marketing salesperson at a craft fair. You cannot just sit there, watch over your stuff, and expect people to come look at your stuff and buy it. It's not going to work that way. You have to stop people. You have to have that sales pitch. Okay? And I'm not saying that anyone should stop doing what they're doing or never get into network marketing if they don't have a lot of practice being sociable. There is not much to it. You can become this great sales pitch person with about 30 minutes of preparation, I would say. I've had training since my business started with similar things from better marketers than myself in order to increase my efficiency at selling things. One of the things that I do pretty regularly, not so much this past month, but basically, every Saturday and Sunday, if I have the time, I like to go to the flea market before my store opens, before I unlock my store to open it. I like to go to the flea market first because it's open for a couple hours before my market is open. My market is open later than the flea market. They open at like 7:30, and I think around 8:30 people are done setting up their tables at the flea market. And so around 8:30 I like to stroll in there and leave by about 9:40, 9:45, so I have enough time to drive to my work and open it right on time. At 10, we're open at 10. So in that time, I like to pass out business cards to some of the vendors there that I feel would be a good fit for my type of market versus the flea market. Now, there's some people who belong in the flea market. They make better sales there. They are that haggler type that because of their good salesmanship, they can make a lot of sales there. So somebody who does roasted green chilies and only likes to do it once a week. All sorts of people who just, in order to make their sales, they should be at this haggling market. Those people, I'll still give them a business card, but I'm really concerned with the people that have their things priced what they're worth, and they really belong in a place where they don't have to set up and tear down every day. They belong in a place where their stuff can be protected from the elements, all sorts of different reasons that they belong in my market, not there. So, but they still end up there because people haven't evolved with the times to see these other options for small businesses. So, I used to walk through the flea market for an hour or two in the morning, and I would talk to maybe 4 people in an hour. So I would only be hitting 8 people, and maybe 1 or 2 of them would show up at my market later on, be it they closed down at the flea market because they weren't doing that good, or weather because it started to rain at the flea market and we're indoors, so they would shut down early, or they'd wait all the way till 4 o'clock when the flea market closed, and then they'd come over to my market because I was open 2 hours later. So maybe I get 1 or 2 per 8 people I talk to, right? So I needed training from a friend of mine in order to speed up the process of how to introduce myself and how to get my business card into their hand and do it in such a way where I could get more numbers. Because it is a numbers game. Okay? Whether or not you talk to people for a long time and they seem really interested in you, or they really want you to be interested in what they have, it really doesn't seem to make any difference. After I got training from a friend of mine, on how to really speed this up and really do this marketing, I saw that I could get in 1 hour about 20 to 30 cards out rather than, 8. It more than doubled my efficiency at getting these cards out. And even weirder than that, one of the principles I was taught by my friend Haas, who's a great marketer, one of them is, if you spend 15 minutes talking about what you do and your product, you could actually tell somebody everything that they want to know about your product, right? About what you're trying to get them interested in. And in my case, it's my market. In that time, you have just made them uninterested, uncurious, because you gave them everything that they wanted to know. So, a strategy of just briefly mentioning it and giving a few bullet points and saying, if you'd like to talk later, you can stop by, you can look us up online. That has worked better because, one, I can basically cut the conversation short and hold it down to 1 or 2 minutes rather than 15 per person. And two, if they're curious, they'll go look it up. They might like my Facebook page. They might, they might find a reason that they can't find that exact answer to the question that they have, so they might have to walk in the door. Rather than me going to them and telling them that answer in that 15-minute conversation and them not having any reason to walk through my door. Okay? So give them just as much as it takes to get them interested, but not so much that they know everything about it. That's, you have to make them curious, but not give them all the answers, because then there's no curiosity left. Little lessons like this from people who have done marketing for a lot longer than me, and going right to these people and asking them, how can I improve myself in doing something? These are things that you have to seek out. You have to actively do this. You cannot just sit back, pay a fee, and expect somebody else to do all the marketing for you. Okay? Because what I saw at this craft fair was not any of them wanted to put in the effort, okay, on a personal level when shoppers were there, in front of them, and on a preparatory level, getting the word out, inviting people, which was actually put in their little vendor contracts that Rainey had for her fair. She was the event organizer, but she put this, these little things like, you will be expected to pass out 10 flyers personally to people, yada yada. That was actually in there. And if they had followed through with that, there would have been a bigger turnout that I couldn't account for with other things. Like me being able to personally tag on Facebook a good chunk, a good third of all the people that showed up. And yeah, that means that I'm a great marketer myself. That means that I have a very deep fan / friend / everything base. My connections with other businesses, yeah. You could come to my business, rent a table for a craft fair for the day, and enjoy some of my network coming to your table. Yes. But even then, you have to capitalize on that. I hope some of my rant here made sense. Um, if there's another question about some business theory that I've said here that I don't even know the names of all these theories. Okay, I'm not an MBA. I'm just a person who is learning from experience, and when I see a problem, I ask somebody who knows from experience, or I ask an MBA. You know, I ask an economics major, how can I fix this? And, you know, sometimes I feel like people get into their little small businesses as a hobby that they might deep down actually know that they're going to put more money into this hobby of having a business than they're going to get out. Sometimes I feel like they go in with this failing mentality of just accepting the fate of, well, yeah, I sell Mary Kay because I really like the product and I really want to get the discount. I've actually heard that from people, okay? That the reason why they sell something is because they use it and they like the discount. Maybe there was a lot of chatting going along with this fair when people weren't in front of their tables. They were, the people were chatting to each other, these vendors. Maybe they're in it for the chatting, you know. But along with this chatting and liking the products for yourself, there is this other goal that people could have. It's called making fucking money. Okay? And just simple little tweaks to the way people handle themselves and do business can get you there. Money's not everything. I will give you that. There are people who are just more artsy than me and less focused on that as the goal. Some people are there to have fun, but making money can be fun. Making money can actually give you more opportunities to have fun. And I can't motivate you to see things that way and decide that you want to make money as a way to have fun, you know? But for me, when I see more foot traffic, when I see more sales, it lifts my spirits. It makes me feel better. It helps me sleep at night. Right? Right now, I'm not sleeping well. And I want better sales and less oregano.